Hello, I'm here today to talk to you about secondary field experience, the virtual experience where I was able to go into students and just talk to them about um, how to evaluate sources. My name is Haley Chase, and let's get this started. So, what we did is we talked about just how important it is to evaluate the sources you're using, specifically in science, because they were in a middle school or high school science class. And so we followed this PowerPoint, the slideshow that was provided by the W200 course. And we just talked about all kinds of different sources that we'd went through and discussed and which things could make them reliable and which things can make them not so reliable. We also talked about the CRAP test and just explained why it's important to test those things before trusting the information you find on a website. So I provided help to the students and teachers specifically because I initiated and inspired conversation with the students, even if they were not able to talk to me over their microphone. I made sure that we were able to have a discussion with each other about what we were learning so that it was a very interactive process. I also made sure to go over the CRAP test and why that's important. And I also gave pretty good examples of how that could relate to their own lives so that they would be able to understand. I worked to make this a very fun lesson for the students, and I hope I succeeded in that because boring lessons are no fun for kids. We use technology a lot in this teaching because, first off, we were able to meet through Microsoft Teams on their tablet or computer, whatever they were able to use. And then on top of that, we also used Google Slides to present what we were doing. I shared my screen and we got on Google Slides. And then on top of that, we used many resources like a YouTube video to further what we were teaching. We used different online websites to help the students practice evaluating with the CRAP test. I used Bitly to make a link that was easy for the students to type up. We used lots of different technology in this, and it would not have been possible without technology. So I'm really glad that we were able to use that technology to further their learning. I feel like what I did well was to continue to ask questions to the students to make sure that they were very involved in the lesson because it's very important to me that students can be involved in the lesson so that it's not just me talking to a brick wall. It can be very boring that way and also kind of hard to understand. I think that I did a really great job at giving examples of the CRAP test and how it could fail or succeed in certain scenarios. And I made sure to make them scenarios that the students would be familiar with, like ads they might see on social media versus full on scholarly articles. I encouraged the students to be a part of the conversation however they could, whether that be by nodding their head or shaking their head, speaking through the microphone, or even typing in the conversation chat on Microsoft Teams. What I struggled with was at first, whenever I had a student who, for some reason, was not able to speak over their microphone, maybe they weren't confident enough, maybe their microphone wasn't working. At first, I was kind of thrown off. I just did not expect that. And so I really struggled at first on how to respond to that, but we worked around it and we were able to have him talk to me over Microsoft Teams chat. And also, I would ask him questions and he would nod or shake his head. I also struggled with time on this field experience too. I tend to get carried away with time sometimes, and it's hard to remember to watch the clock. So I'm going to improve this next time by again watching the clock and making sure that I better manage my time. And then also try to limit how much time we spend on each one of the slides and the topics. I will also make sure to think through every possible scenario that I can and try to come up with a solid backup plan so that I'm fully prepared for whatever's coming next. Things that I learned was that each student's going to learn their own way, and I just need to work around that to be able to help mold their learning experience to them. And I also learned that it's always important to have a plan because the second the students figure out that you don't have a plan, they tend to take advantage of that moment and catch you off guard. So, thank you, and bye bye.